Okay, here you can see that uh, you had one VPC with two subnets and the internet gateway and route table security groups. It looks good that we had a VPC, and for that VPC we had a internet. Okay, so we'll directly enter into this CloudFormation console. Yeah, so again the same. The three differentiations were to create, one is about this designing a template, and other is regarding this creation of the stack, and the third one is regarding from whatever the instances you had already that were running with AWS. From there you can create uh, a template, or you can create from the template to a new stack. So these three differentiations. So we'll start with creating a new stack. So we'll go with one of the template that he has provided. So we'll go with the LAMP stack as we did yesterday. So as I told you, this LAMP stack launches one of the single instance with pre-installed Apache, MySQL, and PHP. So selected this. So if you have any customized template, you can choose it from here. Or if you had any customized template that is there in Amazon S3, and you know that link of that particular object. Okay, in S3 we create buckets, and under the buckets we had the object. So even we have to call whatever the upload, the things you do, you keep under the bucket, we call it as object. So that's the reason. If you had the object URL, you can paste the URL on the third option here. Give the stack name. I'll give you as test case AWS stack. So it comes to database. So is any particular MySQL database name? Okay, my database looks good. Password, I'll give something. So again, repeat the password. So maybe might be some people have confusing what this MySQL and what is why is entering the database name and password. See, MySQL is a database server where you create schemas, and you'll assign one schema to one of the website. So in order to make a communication between this website and MySQL, they had some authentication process. So here we are providing, while we are creating a database, so here in the back end, the AWS guys is taking care of all this installation and configuration. He is just suggesting us to please provide the database name, and in order to communicate with the database, please provide us the username and the password name. So by using this, whatever the username and password name you provide here and the database name, you can connect by using these credentials your web server to database, because in database server we store all the dynamic contents of our website. Okay, so here comes the instance type. He's asking what instance type you're going to launch, whether it is T2 small, T2 micro, M3 medium. It's up to you. So we'll go with small, T2 micro. And next, uh, here he's asking uh, SSH, in order to communicate with instance what you're launching, how do you do the communicate? For that we need that we know. In order to communicate with the instance, we have to launch the instance, and here from this CloudFormation, it's going to launch the instance for us. Next, how do you communicate the instance? So until unless you had this key, until unless you had a pair, you cannot communicate with instance. So he is telling, if you had any key pairs that you are already launched in this mobile region, please choose one of the key pairs. But here he's not popping up a new message saying that if you don't have the key pairs, you create a new key pair. So what I'll do, I'll open this uh, a new tab, the main console, and I'll try to create a new key pair. So here are the key pairs. Right away I don't have any single key pair in this particular Mumbai region. So what I'll do, I'll create a key pair and I'll name it as my test case key pair. See, everything that deals with the instances, key pair, security groups, elastic IPs, load balancers, everything you'll find under the service of EC2. And we talked about on the previous classes while we are discussing about the EC2. Okay, if you have forgotten, please recall your videos. So after creating, immediately what it happened, it created a key pair with the extension of .pem. So it downloaded here from the notepad. You can see this key pair. This is what the private key. By using this private key only, you can enter into this AWS instances. So here is the key pair. Next, I had a key pair. I hope does it pop up a message? No, I have to refresh it, or I have to start this process again. So might be tomorrow in your interview questions he'll ask, uh, can we create key pairs while launching an cloud formation? And అలా క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతుంటారు. See, now here observe, you can observe that I had one key pair, right? Pop-up message. Okay, good. I'll select this key pair. I had this SSH key, so I can communicate. So and next tab is about, he's asking, so okay, you are launching an instance and where this instance should open. Not complete all ports of that instance. He's asking just specifically SSH port. So we use SSH port for the instance in order to communicate and log into that instance and to perform some actions. So here by default he given us, he's opening that SSH port to the world. Or if you want to restrict this SSH port in order to communicate only to your LAN or your office premises, whatever, you'll specify your WAN IP here. Okay, so I'll keep this, let it be. I'll open this SSH to the world and next here comes now options. So here if you have any tags you can tag it, like I can say um, date created today 20. For your numbers, if you have any tags you can add multiple tags. And next come to permissions. So here if you want to choose something uh, users yeah, on this stack, whether they had a permissions to perform some actions on it, from here you can choose it. It is optional, or else you can leave it. If you leave it blank, what happens by default is, we know that the root user you created with AWS. So for that user will have all the permissions. He can play with the cloud formation and all the services of the cloud formations. He'll have all the permissions on all the services, right? So if you want to specify any some IAM user, you can specify it. Like before doing that, you have to deal with the IAM service, where you have to go into the IAM service, and there you have to create the user, and you have to attach one a policy to the user such a way that he'll have all the permissions on this cloud formation stack. Or you can restrict that particular user to only to create the stack, or to modify the existing stack, or like that, or only to delete some stacks. So okay, uh, I hope okay, let us see how do we do that. No problem. So go to this IAM service, identity and access management. Okay, and enter into the users. Okay, this is my user basudkar.karthik@gmail.com. Go to the attach policy, and I'll want to attach the full access on this cloud formation. Type cloud formation. Okay, AWS cloud formation read only access. Here's one option, just return read only access. No, full access I need. So what are all the predefined? You had Elastic ODS VPC with Beanstalk and with Oops work. Okay, I think he haven't had this policy. So back policies, create policy, and create AWS managed policy, or you want to create a policy from using this policy generator, or you want to create your own policy. Okay, I have to I'll create a policy using so allow services, what services, cloud formation. Cloud formation actions. So what actions you wanted to, whether this policy is for just creating a stack. So we thought to have the full permissions, right? All actions. Okay. And Amazon resource name, add conditional resource name, and what is his ARN on cloud formation. So you can find this ARN for every to deal with every service while creating the resource. So while creating these policies on every service, you'll have to follow some customized ARN. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే if you want to create a user only with Amazon S3, from the S3 documentation you have to provide this resource ARN name like cloud formation or n parameters. అంటే ఏ రీజియన్ లో ఉంది ఆ క్లౌడ్ ఫార్మేషన్. Here example of ARN. So ARN, AWS service, CloudFormation subservice, region, and your account number, and stack name, and what are the actions you wanted to perform, full actions on that stack, and all the sub-services on that stack. So ఇలా ఒక ARN create చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది. Control C and copy it in your one of the notepad. The format and the standard format. So when you're dealing with S3 also, you'll get a standard format such a way that S3 dot is to AWS ARN, AWS, S3 and region, account number, bucket/bucket name. ఇది ఒక స్టాండర్డ్ ఫార్మాట్ ఉంటుంది. You can find the standard formats from your white papers or the documentations of this AWS. So I'll copy these and control and paste it in a notepad. Control V. So we are dealing with Mumbai region, right? Okay. ARN, AWS, CloudFormation, and what is the region name of this uh, Mumbai? Where can I find it from my VPC? Or on Google you can just type AWS all regions. So okay, what is calling at Mumbai region? ఇక్కడ ఇంకా స్పెసిఫై చేయలేదు. Yeah, AP South 1. Control C. Control V. Or else we can get this CRN from so for time being first we'll create this stack and we'll చూద్దామండి IAM role ని అటాచ్ చేయడానికి ట్రై చేద్దాం. First we'll create this stack. Okay, and click on next. So here all the details that you can review. If you want any changes you can go back and modify. So here you can see the events. If anything went wrong, here he'll pop up a message saying that this is what the problem is. You keep refreshing to get these events. So he's created a MyTestCase stack. The creation is in progress and he's creating a security groups, and next he'll launch the instances. The one by one process he'll do that. Whatever the requirement to complete this stack creation. So here he is creating the web server instance, creation in progress, resource creation initiated. So creating one of the instance initiated. Next, still it is in progress. So give it some time, 1 or 2 minutes, let it complete its creation steps. So basically, in your jobs, what you'll do, you'll get, after joining at your companies, you'll get this templates from the architecture guy, and you have to upload these templates into the stack, and you have to create these stacks. Okay. So architecture guy will design the templates, and he'll keep the templates, or maybe he'll give the templates to you, or he'll email you the template, or he'll keep the template in S3 and he'll share you the link with you. So you have to, your work is to enter into this cloud formation service. There you specify that whatever the stack the architect guy has given to you. Before doing this, you sit with the architect guy, you speak, you take some inputs. So where do I wanted to create this stack, in which region, and what is the type of instances that are present in this template. You'll take one of the hard copy of that stack diagram from this architect, and ask him if maybe in his architect, or maybe in his template, whatever he is given to you, he had 10 to 11 servers. So ask him what is the size of the server I wanted to launch, and specifically ask him. Basically ఇవన్నీ అవసరం లేదండి, while creating the template only he'll specify the type of this the size of this instance and everything. ఆ template లోనే చేస్తారు. Basically you upload the template and it will take care of. If you have any rollback changes, errors తీసుకెళ్ళి you talk with the architecture guy and tell him to redesign the template again.
కార్తీక్ అలా స్పెసిఫై చేయకపోతే డిఫాల్ట్ గా ఉంటుందా ఎంత సైజ్ తో క్రియేట్ చేయాలి సర్వర్ అది?
No, we have to specify for sure. See, last time also in last class మీరు ఒకసారి వెళ్ళి చూడండి. After dragging and pulling this instance from left side నుంచి ఆ diagram లోకి sheet లోకి లాగిన వెంటనే under this parameters కింద programs code లో వచ్చినాక అక్కడ మీకు బ్లాంకెట్ లో ఇన్స్టెన్స్ టైప్, ఇన్స్టెన్స్ సైజ్ అని చూపిస్తుంది. అక్కడ ఎంప్టీగా ఉంటుంది. దేర్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ m3.micro, n2.micro. See that's architecture guy will write and he'll submit you an stack for you. So your work is to upload and you create it. If any events or failures occurs, you get back to this architecture guy and say him that your template design has failed due to this reason అని చెప్పండి. Then again he'll redesign it.
ఓకే.
So he's saying the creation is complete. So you got the stack, and from here you'll see this is what your stack ID and outputs. Here is the, he installed the website, right, Apache on his instance. He installed the PHP on his instance, and he installed this LAMP, LAMP, MySQL on his instance. So far, in order to access that instance, he's provided one URL. Okay, clicking on this, he's saying, oh, you have already installed the PHP on that instance and the PHP version is so and so. Good to hear that. So this is what the PHP homepage on ఒక సర్వర్ లో PHP ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసిన వెంటనే ఆ సర్వర్ IP అడ్రస్ కొడితే you'll get this page. Then from this page, if you see this page, you can confirm yourself that, oh, I successfully installed the PHP on my server. So that's the reason it is popping up your message on port number 80 while I type this server's IP address. సో అదే అపాచీ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేశారనుకోండి, యుల్ గెట్ అపాచీ వర్కింగ్ పేజ్. అది ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే ఐ విల్ షో యూ. అపాచీ call it as it work page. Here if you install successfully Apache, then you'll get a page saying that this page is used to the power system HTTP, it's working fine, and ఇలా ఒక page వస్తుంది. Then from that you can assume that, oh, Apache server is installed successfully on my system. So we got it. Good. Next, what are the resources? Resources ఏమున్నాయండి ఈ stack కి? Only one resource, and that is the instance, one instance, and the type of the instance is okay. While creating the stack, he launched one instance, and the instance ID is web server instance ID is this. And apart from this instance, he launched another. He deal with another resource, security groups. For that instance, he launched a security groups, and he attached the security group to that particular instance. Okay. And చూడండి, by default he is naming himself my test case is the stack name, web server security group, ఆ వెబ్ సర్వర్ కి సెక్యూరిటీ గ్రూప్, దానికి ఒక ఐడి, వాడి యూజ్ చేసుకో. ఎందుకంటే బికాస్ వైల్ క్రియేటింగ్ ద స్టాక్, ఫస్ట్ స్టాక్ వి చూజ్ దట్ టెంప్లెట్, వాడు ఇచ్చిన శాంపుల్ టెంప్లెట్ తీసుకున్నాం కాబట్టి వాడి నేమ్స్ వాడు తీసుకున్నాం. అదే ఇఫ్ యూ గోయింగ్ విత్ కస్టమైజ్ టెంప్లెట్, యూ కెన్ మోడిఫై దోస్ నేమ్స్ అండ్ యూ కెన్ కీప్ ఇట్ యాజ్ పర్ యువర్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్. సో దోస్ ఆర్ దట్ లైక్ tags. So let me see whether he really launched this server in my Mumbai region. Okay, I'm in Mumbai. I'll go to this EC2 service of Mumbai region. Yeah, I had one running instance. Before we had nothing, no instances in Mumbai. Okay, see, the instance ID is this. I launched in 1 year. It's running good. And okay, so PHP is installed very good on that server. Let me check whether database is installed and whether I can connect to the server or not. So before that, we have to enter into the security groups of that instance, and I have to check whether inbound flow ఎడిట్కి వెళ్ళి జస్ట్ హెచ్టిటిపి వరల్డ్కి ఓపెన్ చేశాడు టు ఆర్డర్ టు ఆ సైట్ రావడానికి, అండ్ SSH he opened it to world to log in into that server. So I'll open a protocol database. I wanted to connect a database on of that particular instance. సో ఏం చేస్తానంటే database port number ఎంత అండి, MySQL database port number here, MySQL 3306 is a port number. Every service runs on server with some port number. Remember this, every service runs on a server with some port number. So, these are the default port numbers. HTTP port number అంటే 80, స్పాంటేనియస్ మీ మైండ్లో రావాలి. SSH పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ అంటే 22. నెట్వర్కింగ్ ప్రోటోకాల్స్ క్లాస్ చెప్పుకునేటప్పుడు ఐ స్పెసిఫైడ్, నేను చెప్పాను మీకు. MySQL 3306, RDP 3389, SMTP పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ 25, SNMP POP3 పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ 110, 143, ఇలా అన్ని ప్రోటోకాల్స్ వాటి పోర్ట్ నెంబర్స్, ఇవన్నీ నెట్వర్కింగ్ ప్రోటోకాల్స్, వాటి పోర్ట్ నెంబర్స్ మీ మైండ్లో ఫిక్స్ అయి ఉండాలి ఇవన్నీ. So I want to open this MySQL to my IP, my home IP. Okay, save. Now I had one of these softwares, MySQL కనెక్ట్ అవ్వడానికి MySQL క్లయింట్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ నా సిస్టంలో ఉంది. ఆ క్లయింట్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ పేరు ఏంటి అంటే MySQL Workbench. So last time కూడా while we are dealing with RDS, relational database service, while we are creating this MySQL server, I opened and I made a connection and I showed you. So I'll open Workbench. See, Workbench లో ఏంటంటే MySQL సర్వీస్ SaaS గా ఇచ్చాడు. ఇక్కడ మనం ఒక ఇన్స్టెన్స్ ఇచ్చా, ఇన్స్టెన్స్ లో పెట్టాం. సో ఇది కనెక్షన్ అవుతుందని చూపించడానికి, ఇట్స్ నాట్ మ్యాండేటరీ దట్ వీఆర్ డివేటింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ అవర్ మెయిన్ టాపిక్ క్లౌడ్ ఫార్మేషన్ టు అక్కడికి ఇందాక ఐఆమ్ create a new connection, test case AWS inst standard connection. What is the host name of that? Where do you get the host name of this server? Or you can specify the IP address of the under these instances. ఇన్స్టెన్సెస్ డిస్క్రిప్షన్ ఉంటుంది కదండి, ఆ డిస్క్రిప్షన్ ఆ ఇన్స్టెన్స్ మీద చెక్ మార్క్ చేసిన వెంటనే EC2లో డిస్క్రిప్షన్లో ఇన్స్టెన్స్ ఐడి, ఇన్స్టెన్స్ స్టేట్, ఇన్స్టెన్స్ టైప్, private DNS, private IPs. I don't want private IP, I need a public IP. Where is the public IP of this instances? Here it is, the public IP. So I am communicating from the public outside of the internet, outside of the AWS region. That's the reason I wanted to specify the public IP. That's the reason from the public IP I opened in the security groups to allow my IP into that private region. Specify the port password in the channel. While creating this, I'll specify it R00T. Okay, and check connection whether it is connecting or not. Failed to connect to MySQL at 526668843306 with user root. Why it is failed? What is the database name I have given? The specific database name while creating this, or else I can SSH into the server and I can see that how to SSH into the server. Na key undi kada. So first thing is I have to convert my key from that extension .pem to ppk. Remember this. In order to communicate with Linux servers on AWS, while creating the AWS instances, you have to create one key pair in order to log in into this but that instance, or you can attach already existing key pair to that instance while creating it. Okay. So now I had a .pem file we have created while creating a stock for while creating one of the instance. So what I'll do, I have to convert the .pem file into .ppk extensions. So basically, remember this, keep it as a node. In order to communicate with Linux, specifically Linux servers with on Amazon Web Services, so you have to convert the .pem key format, the key pair format to .ppk. Then only you can communicate with whatever the key you had with the instance that is with AWS. So in order to change that extension of .pem to .ppk type, you have to use some software called Putigen. You can download that Putigen software if you Google it, and from here first you have to load that key into this Putigen software by specifying here load. Where is the key? I kept it in a download folders. What is the key name I given? Excuse me. So all types, good. .pem. I'll type test. అందాక ఏమి ఇచ్చామండి? Downloads. Test case PM ఎక్కడ ఉంది ఇది? Karthik downloads my test case. Okay. Minimize it. My test case PM. Okay. Choose that file, open. Successfully imported. Now I wanted to convert it. So here 20482102 SSH RSA, save private key or public key, what key it is. Guys, what key it is? It is a private key. Are you sure you want to save this? Yes. And what is the name? Give the same name and name into my test case. Huh? Okay, my test case, and leave it because the extension is going to change. Save. Okay, from here you can see my test case 2 keys. Yeah, it is created. So now open the software called Putty, P-U-T-T-Y. That is Puttigen. Puttigen uses we converted the key. Now open the software Putty and specify the server's public IP with port number 22 because we allowed all the world on port number 22 in order to communicate with the server. So again specify open cancel. It is making a connection. Sorry, putty IP address port number 22, and we don't have this text formatted username and password kada mana దగ్గర ఒక key ఉంది, ఆ key use చేసి కమ్యూనికేట్ అవ్వాలి కదా. For that, on the left side you go with SSH. ఇక్కడ click చేయండి. Under the SSH you'll go with authentication, and from there you choose, sorry, not authentication, SSH. Okay, yes, authentication. From here you browse that key where it exactly it is located, .ppk, right? My test case, not documents or downloads. I'll find it. So here is the key. Select that key, open it, load that key into this putty file and open. Okay, for the first time you are making a connection with this, it is saying okay, just keep yes, and the username is root. By default the username of all Linux servers with AWS is root. Okay, ఇదేముంటుందంటే Babu, you have chosen to go with where it is disconnected. Okay, PUTTY root కాకుండా EC2-user తో లాగిన్ అవ్వని చెప్తుంది. Control V. What's going on, buddy? SSH art browse my open EC2-user. Right, now we log out into that server. సో అందుకు EC2-user అంటే అమెజాన్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ మీద మనం ఇన్స్టాల్ చేస్తాం. EC2 అమెజాన్ లైనక్స్ AMI మిషన్. సో ఈ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ ఈజ్ అమెజాన్. సర్వర్కి లాగిన్ అయ్యాం, రన్ అవుతుందా సర్వీస్ MySQL D స్టేటస్. ఈ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ ఎలా ఉంటుందో. MySQL D స్టేటస్ unknown due to insufficient privileges. Oh, I don't have the sufficient privileges. Root password, I don't know, yeah. Root password PASSWD ROT. Root can specify a username. So I am not the whatever the EC2 కాబట్టి ఇదొక పర్పస్కి లాంచ్ చేశారు కాబట్టి నాకు రూట్ క్రెడెన్షియల్స్ ఇవ్వలేదు. he just given me an standard user credentials with some restrictions. So okay, MySQL and type this note in MySQL like enter చేస్తాం. Now here from here show users, you have an error in your SQL syntax. Okay, two databases ఉన్నాయి and test in Informatica. What I'll do, so ఇది వాడి సర్వర్ కాబట్టి maybe there is a problem, we have to look into that for communicate, but we came to know that he installed MySQL in his server. That's the reason after logging we entered into this MySQL service and we entered some command show databases. Okay, exit, bye. So this is how you'll create stack with AWS on CloudFormation. Okay, so next is enter into this AWS CloudFormation service. ఇక్కడ మీకు రిసోర్సెస్ ఓన్లీ 2 ఉన్నాయండి, ఒకటి ఇన్స్టెన్స్ అండ్ ఒకటి సెక్యూరిటీ టిప్స్. డిపెండింగ్ అపాన్ ద టెంప్లెట్ what you provide, you'll get resources. You'll have the resources, and you can observe the events of while launching and doing some activities on that particular stack. Okay, here is the template. A template code ఉంటుంది, ఆ code ఇదండి. Okay, but to understand this code, you have to have some knowledge on this JSON language and bash scripting. ఈ రెండు తెలిసి ఉండాలి. So create database, db name, db user, localhost, db password, owner root, group root. నేను చూస్తున్నాను ఈ కోడ్లో ఎక్కడైనా వాడు డీబీ యూజర్ నేమ్ అండ్ పాస్వర్డ్ పెట్టాడని. Okay, so this is what the parameters are given while creating my database. myd control c, edit connection, default schema, control v, my database. Oh, look. If you perform some changes on this existing stack, here from this change set you can see what are the changes you perform, right? Every change it will keep one of the as a change set. Okay, so it will keep as a change set 1 2 3 4 ఎన్నిసార్లు modify చేస్తే ఆ template ని అన్ని ఆ stack ని అన్నిసార్లు it will keep as a one change numbers. Okay, so go guys, any doubts on this cloud formation, creation of stack and uploading? What are all the resources, objects, such kind of things? So any doubts, Arun, from your side?
Yeah, little bit confusion, but once you see, I can do it.
See, it's very simple, yeah. Yesterday I remember whatever the theory class I told you, with cloud formation you'll create stack. So on the stack, by how you create, how you have to have this template while before creating the stack, so that you can upload the template into the stack and you launch all that as per the template. You launch all the resources with this stack. సో మీకు ఎప్పుడైతే క్లౌడ్ ఫార్మేషన్ అనే సర్వీస్ మైండ్లో రాగానే ద ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ మీ మైండ్లో రావాల్సింది ఏంటి అంటే టెంప్లెట్ అండ్ స్టాక్. సో ఐ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ సమ్ టెంప్లెట్ ఇన్ ఆర్డర్ టు క్రియేట్ ఎ స్టాక్. అంటే వైల్ వీ డూ ఆల్ దిస్ క్లౌడ్ ఫార్మేషన్ థింగ్స్, ఎందుకు వై యూజ్ క్లౌడ్ ఫార్మేషన్ అంటే ఒకటేసారి 1000 సర్వర్స్ విత్ హై ఆర్కిటెక్ట్ ఉంటుంది కదండి, ఆర్కిటెక్ట్ అంతా లాంచ్ చేయాలంటే మాన్యువల్గా ఇట్ టేక్స్ టైమ్. సో వాట్ విల్ డూ, ద డిజైనర్ గాయ్, ద ఆర్కిటెక్ట్ గాయ్ విల్ కీప్ వన్ శాంపుల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. ఎలా అంటే ఒక టెంప్లెట్ లాగా, ఈ యొక్క బ్లూ ప్రింట్ లాగా ఇది పెట్టుకుంటాడు. ఆ బ్లూ ప్రింట్ నుంచి ఎన్నిసార్లు లాంచ్ చేయాలనుకుంటే, ఎన్ని రీజియన్స్లో కానీ ఎన్నిసార్లు ఆర్కిటెక్ట్ లాంచ్ చేయాలనుకుంటే అన్నిసార్లు ఆ టెంప్లెట్ని స్టాక్లో క్లౌడ్ ఫార్మేషన్లో అప్లోడ్ చేసి కొత్త కొత్త స్టాక్స్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళొచ్చు. లైక్ దట్ హీ కెన్ అప్లోడ్ వన్ టెంప్లెట్ అండ్ హీ కెన్ క్రియేట్ థౌజండ్స్ ఆఫ్ స్టాక్స్ విత్ ద సేమ్ టెంప్లెట్. అదే 1000 స్టాక్స్ కావాలనుకోండి, ఆ సేమ్ టెంప్లెట్ పైన అదే మాన్యువల్గా ఎఫర్ట్ చేస్తే ఎంత టైం పడుతుంది. హ్యావ్ టు ఎంటర్ ఇన్ ద విపిసి సర్వీస్, ఆ కన్సోల్లోకి వెళ్ళాలి, ఈ కన్సోల్లోకి వెళ్ళాలి, ఆ రోడ్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. ఇట్ టేక్స్ అ లాట్ ఆఫ్ టైం. సో ఆటోమేట్ దిస్ ప్రాసెస్. ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యాడ్ ద టెంప్లెట్, we use this cloud formation. Go through this whatever this we have talked on the video. ఒకసారి నా వీడియో చూడండి, పాస్ ఇట్, and listen it carefully and rewind back if you had some doubts. You'll understand this. And if you have still any doubts, you come back to me on this service. Okay. So any other guys, any doubts on this topic?
కార్తిక్ పుట్టి లాగిన్ అయ్యారు కదా, అదే లాగిన్ అవ్వలేదు కదా, లాగిన్ అయిన తర్వాత ఏం జరుగుతుంది లోపల, లాగిన్ అయిన పుట్టిలోకి వెళ్ళి
Linux server connect అయ్యామండి. From here you start, it's up to you, whatever you wanted to. Srinivas, are you going to this Linux classes?
యా
Okay. From there you'll understand if you're dealing with Linux, or how do you communicate with this Linux servers. See, normally Linux లో two types of servers ఉంటాయండి, with GUI and without GUI, graphical user interface. So most of the servers what we launch in data centers, production, we are going with production or something, we'll mostly deal with non-GUI servers, అంటే CLI servers, command line interface ఉన్న servers తోనే we'll deal with. So in order to communicate with CLI servers, we should have some console or some application as a broker between me and that server. So that's broker service, that broker application is this Putty. So with the help of
Okay.
Putty, I'll connect to my server and I'll log into the server, and from there I'll type the commands to perform the actions on the server. Any doubts, guys? Still? Ravi, Srikanth, Upender, any doubts? I'll assume no doubts. Okay. So this is what about this cloud formation service, and tomorrow we'll talk about this code deploy. See, why కోడ్ కమిట్ చెప్పాడు, దాని తర్వాత వర్క్డాక్స్కి వెళ్ళాడు, దాని తర్వాత ఇక్కడికి క్లౌడ్ ఫార్మేషన్ చెప్పి వై కోడ్ డిప్లాయ్కి ఇప్పుడు వస్తున్నాడు అంటే, ద థింగ్ ఇస్ దట్ కోడ్ డిప్లాయ్ ఇస్ ఎ సర్వీస్ దట్ డీల్స్ విత్ క్లౌడ్ ఫార్మేషన్, కోడ్ కమిట్. ఓకే, అక్కడ ఏం చేస్తామంటే కోడ్ డిప్లాయ్ ఆల్రెడీ రన్నింగ్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్లో ఉన్న కోడ్ని తీసుకొచ్చి బిల్డ్ చేసి, ఆ బిల్డ్ని వచ్చేసి ఒక సర్వర్స్లో లాంచ్ చేయాలి. ఆ సర్వర్స్ లాంచ్ చేయాలంటే ఫస్ట్ వీ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ సమ్ సర్వర్స్, రైట్? సో వీల్ బిల్డ్ దిస్ సర్వర్స్ బై యూజింగ్ దిస్ క్లౌడ్ ఫార్మేషన్. ఆర్కిటెక్ట్ క్లౌడ్ ఫార్మేషన్తో డిజైన్ చేసి పెడతాము. ఆ క్లౌడ్ ఫార్మేషన్తో ఏవైతే సర్వర్స్ లాంచ్ చేస్తారో ఆ సర్వర్స్లో కోడ్ డిప్లాయ్ అనేది కోడ్ దాంట్లో వేస్తుందండి. సో ఐల్ షో యూ టుమారో ఎవ్రీథింగ్. ఓకే
ఓకే
ఓకే, దట్స్ ఇట్. Anything from you guys, or we'll end this class? And please go through this AWS white papers and documentation. Google it, AWS Cloud Formation documentations, and go through this documentations, and don't forget to go through with that. Our documentations, so you'll have a lot of sample scenarios where he'll explaining you very clearly step by step with screenshots. Okay. Okay guys, have a nice day. Bye bye.
యా, యూ టూ కార్తిక్, బై.